All right, let's go ahead and see if we are doing good here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, looks like we are live. All right, everyone, I am Rayron, your Ice Dragon, and today I want to talk about the train show that I was able to go to here in California. This is going to be part one of a two-part video series I'm going to do. This particular episode one is going to be about the pictures that I took, and I'm just going to kind of talk over them to explain kind of the train show and how it went and all the cool things they had to offer. Part two is going to be the video portion that I took, and it's kind of be a little bit more of a montage type of thing. So it's going to take me some time to edit that footage, but it's definitely one that I am excited to do. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so this train show took place in the Tehachapi Loop. Sorry, I can't say that right, but it is in California. I was able to see the actual loop itself. I wasn't able to take pictures because I was actually driving. And let me move my mic here real quick. All right, there we go. But I was able to go see the loop while driving to this particular area. It's part of the actual city itself, which is pretty awesome. All right, so we got the activity center, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of these pictures. So this particular picture was pretty neat. You got this little cart here that this is actually the Z-scale layout. So you can just see how small it is. A nice little wintry themed. I should take a picture of some of the locomotives, but next time. All right. So I took a picture of this because this was actually pretty interesting. I didn't get the full story of why this particular track was soldered the way it was soldered. I think it was for electricity, but you'll see I took a lot of pictures here, and I call them notes because it's something that it's a great idea. It's kind of something I want to implement on my railroad. But I think the idea behind this is not necessarily for electricity, but I think it's to secure the edge of the track to the modular itself, so that way it doesn't move. So not only do you glue it down and nail it down, but you can also solder it down to the roadbed there. It's got a nail right there that's actually in this little solder area. So it's actually pretty interesting. Pretty good idea. So I took a picture of it just for note taking. This is the corner modular. This is the HO. So I'm definitely in this all the pictures and video that I took, I am definitely biased towards the HO side because that's usually my primary scale. So one trend that I started to notice though is not only here but in the N scale layout is that roundhouses tend to be on the corner modulars, which I found kind of interesting. So I took a picture of this one here. Here is a Great Northern HO train connected to a Denver Rio Grande coaches. So this particular picture I took because I want to eventually build one of these modulars. This is basically a drawbridge. So I was just taking some notes on how this was created, to the particular hinges that they used, to how the wood construction is built, how the framing is built, how the wiring is built. It's something that I definitely wanted to take notes on. So that's why I took. There's a couple pictures of this coming up as well. And then you got a Great Northern Broadway, not Great Northern, excuse me, Norfolk and Western mullet engine. That is a Broadway Limited, which is pretty cool. Kind of a blurry picture. I apologize for the noobness. But yeah, this is the picture of the Norfolk and Western, the 2442 mullet engine, Broadway Limited. This collection is pretty interesting. So this gentleman, I didn't get the name. I should have grabbed the name, but collected a lot of the Hudson-style framework engines. So he's got a whole bunch of them in his collection. So these are G scale, Lionel scale, O scale collection that he's got here. So he's got the New York Central there at the top row and at the middle of the pack there. kind of more of his collection that he's got. Got some brass engines there. Back to the HO layout here. You've got some Norfolk Southern engines. Again, kind of a blurry picture. I was trying to do, I had a whole new setup that I was experimenting with. Normally I would have a Sony DSLR, but I was experimenting with the phone to see the portability of photography a little bit. So I forgot to focus. A lot of times I keep forgetting to focus on the picture and then take it. So it's, you know, as time goes on, I got better at it, but I still need a lot of practice. Here's a Southern Pacific engine. Again, I forgot to focus, but definitely a beautiful daylight set. Here's a Frisco 464 engine. Now that person in the back, if you guys watch Humanity Junction, he's frequently a guest on that particular channel, but that is Lynn. I was able to meet Lynn at this particular train show. He's part of this club, and forgive me, I forgot the name of the club, but I think there's a sign somewhere. That's something I'll do next time, is I'll make sure I take a picture of all the clubs that were there at the layout. So this is the N-scale side. They also had a drawbridge system that I really liked, so I took a lot of pictures from the hinges to the wiring. Definitely just some great ideas when it comes to modular design, because for me personally, I'm a modular builder, so I like these unique things. Again, I just took a lot of pictures of the hinges, the track work. These are butt joints. So basically they lay a track down and then you take a Dremel and cut it. And then this guy also used door hinges and door locks to keep the modular in place, which is a very good idea. And this allows you basically bring the drawbridge up so that way the people can actually go into the center of the layout. Very handy, because then you don't have to go on your hands and knees to go underneath the layout to go to the center. So definitely vital when it comes to modular layouts. This is a picture of underneath the layout. And I wasn't able to get a chance to ask what particularly this switch is for. I think it's for currency, so that way the layout can continue on with the power. Definitely something I'm going to research in the future to see how that works. And this is just another photo shot of the butt joints. Now this is pretty cool. So this particular modular had two dinosaurs, and this one is basically eating the caboose here. I think the individual called it the Caboosasaurus Rex or something like that. It was just hilarious. But you can see the tanks around it. It kind of reminds me of like a movie scene, which is pretty cool. And that's how you can bring fantasy into modulars. It's like, you know, you can have these set pieces and these toys on the layout, and you always call it, yeah, this is for a movie scene that they're shooting for. So it's great. I love it. And here's the picture of the other one. The dragon, essentially. So cool. Definitely another great picture of this layout is a T-track modular. Now, this is definitely something I want to do in the future because I love the concept of T-track, that you basically set up. In this case, it was 4 foldable tables, and then you just basically put these sections onto it to make modulars. This is using Kato Track. And it was such a great story from this person who actually built this layout. Guy's a teacher IRL, and he was teaching elementary school. And he was able to get like a club going over there and teaching these youngsters how to get into the hobby, which is awesome to hear. They had another layout here. This is the G scale Bachman Thomas collection. Unfortunately, they weren't kind of running well. It was because they tried to put it on these tables, but the tables weren't even. So there was a lot of derailments on this particular layout. You can see there's the N scale back there in the back here. And then in the very far back is, I think it was S scale. American Flyer. Okay, here's another picture of that drawbridge. Again, just taking it for notes and research and inspiration. The particular hinges that they use, so you can see that how this is kind of constructed a little bit from the top view. And then kind of the underneath. Again, this is more mental notes for me, so that way I can build something like this, because it's actually kind of important if you're going to have a modular setup like this, especially if you're going to go to shows, to have a person that has this type of modular. So again, just a lot of mental notes for me to make. Now this was pretty cool. I took a picture of this. This is from the N scale layout. But it's a very interesting piece because you got the 3 main lines, but you've also got like this crisscross here. It's almost like a curved Y to now you can't turn an engine around, but it's very interesting that you can go from the 3 main lane to the single main or siding here. So again, it brings ideas to the forefront, and that's why I took this particular picture. So I'm hoping this is capturing my mic. Let's see. Let me look at my mic settings real quick. Just want to make sure that it's actually capturing. Okay, it looks like it's capturing everything. All right, sweet. It looks like it's so faint on the stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but if the replay is not that great, then I'll just make a video. Okay. Again, this is just some more pictures of the N-scale layout. Some more pictures of the Norfolk Southern. Definitely this color scheme, though, I'm definitely not familiar with. So if there's any Norfolk Southern experts and want to tell me what kind of color configuration this is, it's definitely a color scheme I'm not familiar with. So I don't know if it's fantasy or if it's actually prototypical, but yeah, definitely interesting. I took a couple pictures here because, again, these are great ideas that we can use for the future. So definitely some customized maintenance of way cars. So this one, pretty cool. This is from the Denver siding here. It's pretty cool. Denver service unit. So basically, they just took a toy Caterpillar and put it inside of, I think that's a hopper car. And then you got this maintenance of way vehicle that's on rails on a flat car. So it's just great ideas. And that's why I took a lot of pictures for that. Again, this isn't in any particular order. I tend to go back and forth with all the layouts and everything. There's another picture of this guy's collection. Now, this particular engine is pretty darn cool. So I was talking to the individual who owned this, and it's such a great story because this guy loves the framework of the 464s. And this particular model definitely cost a lot. Let's just say, I won't say the number just for privacy's sake, but it is definitely a lot of money for savings. Let's put it that way. It's a savings amount, a number. But it's quarter scale, and it took, you can see down that little placard that it took 2 men 40 years to construct. It's got brass, it's got aluminum, it's all handmade. Each part was made individually by hand. So it's definitely such a great engine. The details was fantastic. And you can kind of see the HO layout in the background, and you've also got the S gauge in the back as well. This is the interior of Lynn's Southern Pacific train set. So once I figured, you can see I kind of figured out the autofocus. So it's like, as soon as I realized that my photos were not focusing, I got better at it later down the road. I also added my portable light to the camera as well. So these pictures definitely came out a lot better. But again, here's the Southern Pacific. This is the Roundhouse again. Yeah, this one's a little bit blurry, but we've got a Roundhouse here on the N scale layout. So again, kind of that theme that if you want to do modular design, been seeing a trend of putting a Roundhouse on a corner modular. So yeah, just kind of took those pictures. But yeah, I think that is all. Yep, that is all the pictures that I took. In episode 2, I will be basically editing all of the video footage that I took of this particular train show. So kind of in closing, let's go ahead and see all photos. Okay, that's not working quite right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing here. But pretty much that is all the pictures that I took from the Tehachapi Loop Train show. I think there was like 3 clubs that were there, and then a lot of other individual layouts. It was really nice to go to a train show again, like a proper train show that you can actually buy things. I will definitely be doing another video of the haul that I have, because there was 2 good vendors that had a lot of good HO stuff for super cheap. It was kind of ridiculous. But I'll definitely be doing a haul video from this train show and another video. But it was nice again just to go there to see layouts, to see the kids enjoying themselves, seeing the parents, to seeing the families and everything, just having fun at a train show. And it's like I was able to meet Lynn there, awesome dude. Got to talk with him a little bit, and it's like it's just the interactions. It was definitely something I was missing from these train shows. And it was just nice to be there, to walk around, to take pictures, to take video. It was very humbling to have that again. And the icing on the cake was seeing the actual Tehachapi Loop there. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to actually stop by and take any pictures or video, but just driving by it, it was such a sight to see. But it was definitely worthwhile. And it's like, if you ever go to a train show, always try to ask questions to the guys who are running the layouts, because you just never know the backstory behind the layouts and so forth. I met so many awesome people at this particular train show. I met the teacher there who, if I didn't ask a simple question, because the question I asked was, what was the radius? And I was able to get the radius sizes in Cato numbers for the T-Track module. And then, we started talking, and it's like, yeah, he was encouraging the next generation of students down there to get involved in a hobby. And that's how he got into the T-Track modular setups and everything. Met a very young individual that was selling stuff because he wanted to upgrade his collection in DCC. And we were talking DCC stuff. And then there was another vendor, the entire family was deaf, but it's like through simple hand sign language and everything, we were able to get good deals and everything. And I spent so much there because I wanted to help that family out. And it's just, that's the great thing about this hobby. It's not just about the trains, it's about the story. It's about the interaction. And that's what I missed. And being able to go to it was definitely a humbling experience. So, but yeah, that is part 1 of the oh my gosh, I cannot say this. Tehachapi Loop. Again, you guys can slaughter me in the comments, but that's basically the train show, part 1. I'll do, I got my, the haul video that I'll do. And then I've also got the part 2 that I'll do as a edited video. But with that, guys, I'll take care of this particular video. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.